The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Vice President Leni Robredo encourages her supporters to use the color pink, not only to support her presidential bid, but also to spread love this election season. In a video, Robredo tells her supporters that the color pink is not just a brand color, but a way of life. She says this symbolizes openness, love, and the willingness to listen, even to people we disagree with. And she encouraged her supporters to show that wearing pink reflects these values. Robredo ended her message saying that the color pink is the color of tomorrow.
Kailangan nating isalamin ang tunay na ibig sabihin ng pink habang suot natin ito. Gumawa ng mabuti, magpaabot ng tulong sa kapwa, maging mahinahon sa pagbabahagi ng ating mensahe. Tandaan, madaling makipagtalo, mas radikal ang magmahal. Rosas ang kulay ng bukas at pag-ibig ang magdadala sa atin doon. Pag-ibig ang magpapanalo sa atin sa laban na ito.
Presidential aspirant Isko Moreno is promising to implement a 50% tax cut on fuel and electricity if elected in 2022. Moreno made the announcement in a town hall meeting in Tarlac, where he met with some 100 farmers and agricultural workers. The Aksyon Demokratiko standard bearer said that the excise tax cut on petroleum products would benefit not just the poor, but also the middle class, who were at the receiving end of the weekly oil price hikes. He added that the tax break on electricity would be good for consumers and business owners, since this would mean additional savings for all.
50% tax cuts sa oil, 50% tax cuts sa kuryente. At sigurado ako, para ko nang binigyan ng ayuda hanggang bundok ng tralala. Mas gugustuhin ko na bawasan ng buwis kaysa kunin ng buwis ng malaki tapos nanakawin lang ng mga politiko para sa lokohan sa ayuda, lokohan sa kalsada. Kayo, hawak ninyo yung pera.
For 2 months, about this issue, we have Shaila Francisco. She's reporting live from Taguig. Good afternoon, Shaila. Why is the Makabayan bloc pushing for this price freeze, and what are the specific products that they want to be covered?
Charles, the Makabayan bloc has already filed a bill seeking for a declaration of price freeze because they believe that this is the fastest way to prevent the succeeding oil price hike from being passed on to the prices of some goods in the market. They say that any price hike, considering the pandemic, will be heavy or will be a cause of concern for low-income families. Some of the products they want covered under the price freeze are agricultural goods, such as rice, corn, meat, fish, and vegetables, and other necessities, such as bread, cooking oil, milk, coffee, and drugs deemed as essential by the DOH. They said the price freeze can be justified given that the government extended the state of calamity due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Charles?
Right, Shaila, given everything that's been said, what is the Trade Department's stand on this proposal? Are they going to budge?
Charles, the Trade Department says that the government can't just impose a price freeze. They need a new declaration, and what happened was only an extension of a state of calamity due to the COVID-19 pandemic. They can, however, recommend to President Duterte the imposition of mandated price ceiling, but as for now, they don't see the need to impose such a move because for them, the cost of a succeeding fuel price hike is negligible based on their computation. It only takes about less than 50 centavos for manufacturers' cost. The fuel price hikes now. They also added that no manufacturers have already requested for price hikes due to fuel price increases. Charles?
Shaila, how is the agricultural sector taking this? How have they been affected so far by these hikes in crude oil prices?
Charles, according to Samahang Industriya ng Agrikultura or SINAG, some farmers they've talked to already said that they won't be planting anymore. These are rice farmers, vegetable farmers, and corn farmers because the production cost is getting higher considering the higher fuel prices. This is a cause of concern for SINAG because this can impact supply and push prices further in markets. They are now asking the government to suspend the import duties for fuel. We talked to the DA earlier and they said that what they can do is to provide transport to these agricultural goods at lower cost, and they're already talking with the Department of Energy for some fuel subsidies or discounts for fishermen and other transporters who are transporting these goods. Charles?
Thanks for that, Shaila. That was Shaila Francisco reporting live from Taguig. The U.S. FDA has permitted Moderna vaccine recipients aged 65 and above to get booster shots. The same is true for Johnson & Johnson's vaccine recipients aged 18 and up. Likewise, the agency also allowed each of the available COVID vaccines to be used as a booster dose for eligible individuals. Emma O'Brien gives us more details on Bloomberg Daybreak Australia.
So the FDA really taking that unusual step here of endorsing vaccine mixing for boosters. What are they saying?
Yeah, I mean, you had the U.S. Drug Authority approving the Moderna vaccine as a booster for Americans aged 65 and over, along with those over 18 at higher risk. They also said any adult who'd received the Johnson & Johnson one-shot vaccine can get a booster 2 months after receiving their first dose, which is pretty aggressive. Alongside that, as you noted, they said that any of the 3 COVID vaccines authorised in the US, so that's Moderna's, the Pfizer-BioNTech shot and Johnson & Johnson's, could be given as a booster. Now, this shows the US is really doubling down on the booster program, given the uptick in cases and deaths that we've seen the past month or so. Most of those have been in unvaccinated people, with the US hitting a bit of a hesitancy wall since its initial rollout. But there have been breakthrough cases, and this is what this is targeting, especially in people who got their vaccinations early.
In the meantime, we're hearing that Apple has become just the latest big US company to up the ante on vaccinations and also testing for their workers.
Yeah, I mean, Apple has been quite cautious on the sort of vaccination mandate front, at least compared to some of the other tech companies, the airlines, some of the banks in the US. It's stopped short as yet of issuing a vaccine mandate for its employees. But on Wednesday, it did say it will compel uninoculated workers at the corporate offices to test for COVID every single time they enter an office. And this will apply to people who don't want to divulge their vaccine status to the company as well. Now, this comes as the US government really lasers in on its December 8 target for federal employees and, importantly, contractors to the government to be fully vaccinated against COVID. And, of course, Apple sells a lot of products to the US government, so will potentially be affected by this mandate. And the US has also been pushing businesses with 100 or more employees, which obviously Apple is, to require vaccines or else really aggressively test unvaccinated staff.
Filipino-American Grandmaster Wesley So has again been crowned U.S. chess champion. The 27-year-old won against Fabiano Caruana and Samuel Sevian in the rapid playoffs held at the St. Louis Chess Club in Missouri. So said that he did not expect to win after he tied for first place with both Caruana and Sevian, 6.5 points in the 12-player tournament. And this marks the second straight U.S. championship crown for So, and the third overall, after also ruling the highly prestigious event 4 years ago. So is taking home $50,000 US from the competition. That's roughly 2.5 million pesos.
I wasn't actually expecting to be in the playoffs today. I think Fabiano was pushing and pushing his game yesterday. So I was a bit disappointed if he won.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. social media giant Facebook is reportedly changing its name. The Party of Palace spokesperson Harry Roque is giving him a chance to run for Senate. But he says he will not do it unless Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte runs for president. And presidential aspirant Leody de Guzman has a new running mate, and that's former Representative Walden Bello. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.